Hello folks, I'm usually a happy-go-lucky kind of idiot, but today there's trouble at mill. There's problems with the Say Me, and yes, it's an electric car and they're not supposed to go wrong, but this one has. And let me just talk you through it. A little bit rainy out here today, unfortunately. So I went to use the car yesterday and I haven't used it for probably 3 weeks, simply because I've had that press car there, which I've been reviewing for Men and Motors. That's the Skoda, what is it? Skoda Fabia Monte Carlo. And prior to that, I was on holiday for a bit. I had another press car before that. So this car just hasn't been used for a while. It often stands up for like 3 weeks without being used. Not an issue. When I left the car last time, it had about 50% state of charge, and I would expect it normally, if it's just stood up for a couple of weeks or something, it might lose 2 or 3% of its charge. So you can imagine my surprise when I got into the car, switched it on, and we get messages like this appearing on the dash. It's just gone away, but electrical system fault. Park the car and you'll see the state of charge is at 0. Now, a friend of mine is an auto electrician. He's had a look at it for me. Of course, I plugged in, I've got a Carista device, I've got a Carly device, all of those. They all detected about 1 million faults and cleared lots of them, but there were a couple they couldn't clear. And my friend that's an auto electrician has plugged in some software and he says, that's a control unit failure, and it's one of 3 potential control unit failures, possibly all 3, and it's going to have to go to the main dealership. So I got in touch with the main dealership. It's Snow Say It in Poole. They won't look at the car because it's electric. Don't forget, this is a Say It dealership that also is home to Cupra, where they sell cars like the Cupra Born. So it's got to go to the one in Southampton. So I'm about to get a recovery truck to come and pick this up. I've got to give them a call and see if I can get something booked in. And it will go to Southampton, where they've got all the correct equipment and they've got like an HV Master Tech there that can have a look at everything. The guy on the phone did say it's quite possibly absolutely nothing to do with the drive battery or the control systems around that, but they just don't let their mechanics get into the depths of things in a car that's got high voltage electrics in it, so it has to go to a specialist centre. I also rang around a few independents here, just in case they diagnose it and give me some stupid bill, and none of the independents I can find around here will work on EVs past doing normal servicing kind of stuff. All of them are happy to do that, apart from one, but I don't know if he might have been the link between man and the apes. I'm not particularly sure, because it took me about 15 minutes to explain to him what an electric car is. So that was a bit of a concern. Anyway, but yeah, so it'll go in today, hopefully, if I can get the tow sorted, and then I'm sure I'll get a diagnostic done on it, and we'll see what the damage is. So keep watching, because I'm going to see this issue through to resolution in this one video. So don't skip through, follow all the points, and we'll find out how it goes at the end. Right, little update for you. I'm in a different location. I'm doing some filming tomorrow, so I'm in a Premier Inn. Anyway, the Say It dealership from Southampton called me on my way here and have said that the good news is it's not the high voltage battery that's the issue, which would have been covered under an 8-year warranty. But the bad news is that it's a known fault. And I thought, well, that's not bad news, surely. Anyway, apparently water gets into the low voltage wiring loom because something somewhere doesn't have a plug on that probably should. And Say It haven't seen enough cases of this to make it a recall. It's not a safety issue, so therefore I have to pay for it. And there's no guarantee, by the way, from what I can tell, that this is even the issue. But they're saying this is what the issue is. 5 hours labour so far. So he's asked me to authorise 990 quid in labour to basically go down the wiring loom and find any damaged bits and replace them. And then if it needs any new plugs or anything, that's going to be extra, apparently. And guess what? The guy that's working on it, it's his birthday tomorrow, so he's not going to touch it again until next week. So not an amazing phone call, I have to say, but the guy on the phone was very chipper about it, so that's good. But I'm a bit pissed off. If this is a known issue, they should be putting it right for free. But evidently, that's not how they play at Say It. So that's massively disappointing, I think. But at this stage, I just want it fixed and I want the car back because, you know, I need a second car. I'm away on this trip today and there's no car at home now because I haven't got a review car this week because I had loads of stuff going on. I didn't book in a review car. And because the car got trailered there, I didn't even think about asking for a courtesy car because it would have meant I'd have had to get to Southampton via bus, train, and probably bus it again to go and pick it up. And I just don't have time to do it. Okay, I've just picked up the Say It Me from Snow's in Southampton. It's now all fixed. The issue, I've just had a long chat with the service lady there, and the issue was one that crops up in the petrol cars, in everything. It's not at all related to this being an EV. So actually, my local dealership could have worked on it. She also told me that they've got people going there from all over the country because this is the only, say, EV specialist in the south. And there's another guy picking his car up today who's come a long way. And again, it's an issue that could have been resolved at its local centre, but they wouldn't touch it because it's an EV, but it's not EV related at all. So I don't know if you've seen my video where I visited Felton last week, but they actually do EV technician training. To get Seating Guilds 4, it's going to take you 300 or 400 quid and 3 days. That's it. And in my area, there's pretty much no one that seems happy to work on an EV, and even the main dealer won't touch it, even when it's not a high voltage issue. It's not an EV issue, it's a car issue. And that just seems preposterous. There are so many garages that are going to start complaining about they're not getting service money in they used to get. They're not getting this money in that they used to get. And for a few hundred quid in a few days, they could have at least one trained technician on site that can do the necessary to be able to work safely on electric cars. Even if they don't want to start diving into battery packs and stuff like that, if they just want to do basic fault finding stuff and are scared about getting an electric shock off one or something, this is the way to do it. Go and get your guys trained. It won't cost a lot of money. It doesn't take a lot of time. Go and check out Felton. I'm sure there are other places doing it in the country, by the way. I'm certainly not sponsored by Felton or anything like that. I just spent a day at the facility last week and I know they do it and I know the sort of numbers we're looking at, and it's very, very sensible. I just think there are people that could be making an absolute killing doing this, and instead of having people travelling 150 miles to pick up their car from a specialist centre, their local dealership could just deal with it, or their local independent could just deal with it. The fault with this car was low voltage wiring loom getting water ingress, and it's because during the manufacturing process a little rubber bung is not put in somewhere along the line. That is a known fault, and it seems to be quite a common fault, but Say It have never done a recall on it, and that means that you get to pay 1,000 quid when it goes wrong, and that's just completely unacceptable, I think. That job is just, I've just put a brand new MOT on it as well, which I'll tell you more about in a sec, but that's probably like a 15 pence item, which in fairness every dealership could put in anytime they see the car. When they service the car, it'd probably take them 5 seconds, but they choose not to, and that's just, I don't know. And why would they, I suppose, when they could get a grand's worth of work out of it further down the line? The good news is It's just had a full health check done and passed with flying colours. And the MOT was actually due at the end of next month. And I thought, well, it's there. I might as well just get them to MOT it, because I've been away for a couple of days on a launch, so I couldn't pick the car up anyway. It was like an extra 55 quid, so I just thought, sod it, I'll get an MOT done on it early. It's gone straight through that, completely advisory free, and it's got a full health check. So this is probably as good an example of one as you could find now. It's only got 28,000 miles on it. Now, tomorrow, I'm picking up a brand new lease car for me. And that means I'm going to be selling one of my current cars. I've got this, and I've got the Tesla Model Y, and I'm going to sell one of them. Now, anytime I do a video with that Tesla Model Y now, there are loads of knobs that jump into the comments and start calling me a Nazi and just putting absolute nonsense on it. It's a car. You know, they're the same people that 18 months ago when I bought it would have been jumping into the comments and saying that I was some sort of virtue signalling lefty, and they're now saying I'm like a right-wing fascist or something. And I think that shows the level of intelligence of the people that are saying this kind of stuff. I mean, have a word. So a lot of people would be saying to themselves, well, get rid of that one, because you know, you're getting loads of negative comments and stuff. But what they don't realise is it all feeds the algorithm. More people get to see it because bellends are in the comments. So I'm not going to. I'm going to get rid of this one. And to be fair, like, the Tesla cost a lot of money. It's lost a lot of money, but actually it saved me loads in tax when I got it. And we're just going to run that into the ground, I think. I used it yesterday to go out to a car launch. It was absolutely brilliant. I charged for 8 minutes at Fleet Services on the way there, and then came back completely fine. It still had like 16% left when I got home, and it's more than capable of doing the long trips that I do in it with consummate ease. And it's a bit of a workhorse. And then when I'm not doing that, it's, you know, the family car, and it gets absolutely used and abused. And my wife likes to drive it into curbs, and more recently concrete posts in Tesco car park. And I think we're just going to keep that. No reason to get rid of it. And I'm going to tell you about what I've leased in the next video, and the price I've got it for will blow your socks off, I think. But this one's going up for sale. I mean, obviously, if someone's interested in buying it that's watching this video, send me an email. But I'm also going to be sticking it on Motorway and CarWow maybe, and seeing what I can get for it on those. But if you are interested in getting the car, then drop me a message. It has done just shy of 28,000 miles, I think. I haven't got the right thing on the trip computer at the moment to tell you exactly. It's done next to nothing since I've owned it, because this is the second car for when I haven't got a press car, and obviously quite a lot of the time I've got a press car. It's just probably only done, I don't know, if it's done 1,500 miles, I'd be surprised. Maybe 2,000 miles, I don't know. But if you're interested, I'm going to ask 8.5 grand for it. It's got the aftermarket Apple CarPlay thing that I've stuck in it. That is removable, but I'm happy to leave it in there because it's brilliant. You can use that with Android Auto as well. It's all wireless, syncs up nicely with the stereo, so no great dramas there. And I've also got an Apple MagSafe charger, which I did a video on installing that. So if you use an Apple phone, I'm happy to leave that in. But likewise, I've got the original cradle for it as well, which can go in, so that's not a problem. Completely new MOT, all the tyres are great, the brakes are great. It's just a really nice, honest little car that I must admit I've loved my ownership with it. It was only that last week really when it went a bit tits up that was annoying, and that was nothing to do with anything other than someone at the garage not having a pair. So there you go. If you're interested in this, buying it from a national treasure, that's me, by the way, drop me an email, but do it quickly because I am going to get it onto Motorway. So I need it gone really for the drive space, because I'm getting the other car tomorrow, and I've got a press car coming, I think. maybe next week as well, and my front drive's going to start looking like a car lot if I'm not careful. And I can only fit 3 cars on it at a real push as it is. So it needs to get gone. I'm not going to take any silly offers or anything like that. So here it is. I'll just give you a quick walk round. We'll have a look in the boot. I haven't cleaned the interior at all at the moment, but there's the boot space. Parcel shelf. Actually still got a parcel shelf. It's just been washed. There's a bit of water flying off it still. And then there's the back seat. There's still paper on the floor there from when it was delivered. It's probably time I took that out. And then got the interior here. Here's that MagSafe charger, but that can just be swapped out for the original cradle, which I've got in the glove box. And there's the CarPlay screen, which is brilliant. That can do Android Auto as well. And the interior is all in really good nick. And then all the wheels, I don't think there's any damage on those because it's me that drives this. So I think they're all in good shape. Yeah, there is a scratch here. Don't know how well that's coming out. You can see the scratch there. And there's some swirl marks in the bonnet, but I'll probably give the bonnet a polish and it might get rid of quite a lot of those. And there's a tiny little bit of damage there, which God knows. Oh, actually, I do know how that happened. Someone at some point has shut the bonnet support, shut the bonnet with the bonnet support down, and it's caught on there, and the bonnet support's a little bit bent, but I'll get some touch-up paint and deal with that. But yeah, it's all pretty decent. In terms of other scratches, don't know. No, that's not one. It's black, so obviously scratches show up on black cars, but there's a bit there. Some of this is just where the dirty water's dried on it. Yeah, I don't know, there's nothing too serious anyway. Thanks for watching this one, folks. Please like the video, please subscribe if you like honest, no BS content, and I'll see you on the next one. Huge thanks to all my channel members for your continued support. I really do appreciate it.